Hello everybody, this is Adrienne with Ascension Soul Coaching. So today I'm going to do a quick reading on what's going on with Harry and Meghan. And what I want to talk about first is all the articles and stories and news articles that are going out about this being Meghan's and Harry's separation from the royal family is because of racism. Okay, I don't think so. I think that there's always going to be a bit of racism. I think a lot of people were concerned about her as a biracial person coming into the royal family, but I do not believe that the reason she's exiting, or they're having issues, or there's the family is fragmented, is because there was racism. What I do believe is that Meghan, because we've been reading from Meghan I've been reading with you about Meghan for probably, 4 or 5 months now. And if I'd ever thought that there was a race issue with her and how things were going, I would have said so. I am a black female. I am in America. I'm American. I don't live in Britain. I visited, but I've never lived there. If I've ever thought there was any hint that would make me think that a lot of these issues was because of her race, I would say so. Okay. Second of all, my kids are biracial, and from my first marriage. So people, it's interesting because I make comments, people will come on my page and say, "Oh, how dare you as a black woman talk about Meghan? You're black yourself. You're a traitor. You're Uncle Tom, or you're, we need to stick together." And I'm like, no. Here's the issue, Meghan. When I first found out that Meghan was marrying Harry, I'll put it this way: when I first saw the picture of Meghan on the magazines that he was dating her, I was like, wow, she looks like Kate. And I always knew that Harry had a crush on Kate. That's my opinion. That's what I saw. And when I saw Meghan's picture, I was like, wow, she looks like Kate. Just a more exotic looking Kate. And then I started following lightly the story of them dating, and people were saying, oh, they might get married. I'm like, probably not. I really wasn't really into it. So, but when he proposed to her, a few months later, after I started noticing her, and that he was going to marry her, I was like, wow. Actually, my daughter, and it's funny, but my daughter called me. She's 26 now, and she's like, Mom, I always told you that I was going to marry Harry. And I'm like, no, you're not going to marry Harry. And she was like, why? I never told her because she was black. I told her because she didn't know how to follow orders. Technically, that's my child, whatever. But she just not wanting to fit that mold, and that's why I told her she couldn't marry Harry. She always had a crush on Harry for years. So when Meghan and him got engaged, I was like, wow. So the next thing I heard was about a letter her brother had sent to Harry, was an open letter to Harry saying that Harry shouldn't marry Meghan. And I'm like, what is that about? And so I read about it, and they said she was pushy, she was manipulative, she doesn't do me, she used her father, whatever. Now I don't know these people, so I'm like, wow, that's interesting. He wrote a letter to Harry, and then the next thing, they did the interview. And I actually listened to it. I wanted to learn more about her. So, of course, the engagement. I listened to Kate's. I listened to Fergie's. I listened to Diana's. So I was very interested. So I listened to the interview, and there was a few red flags. One was when she said she didn't know anything about Harry. And just the way she spoke was like so not natural. I understand she's in front of a lot of people, and she knew it was going to go global. The interview, but she's an actress, so I'm like, why is she so unnatural? She sounded so phony, and I didn't get a good vibe from the interview they had, their engagement interview. So still, I don't know her. I just how I felt. I wasn't really 100% into what was going on with them. And then little stories about the sister and her fighting, and then the father, and I'm like, this is a mess. But and I actually wasn't going to watch the wedding because, like I said, I wasn't really all that into it. Just in and out of the actual relationship. But I ended up that morning getting up and watching it, and I'm happy I watched it, because I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna work out with her being biracial. And it's great that they've invited her into the family, and they're not fighting it, and that's good. It's great. They're treating her like a normal human being that's married into the family. I felt. I'm sure there was always some things they had to deal with, like she's from America, she's an actress, she's been married a few times. Some of those things. I mean, anytime you're married outside of your race or outside of your nationality, your culture, there's always some things that have to be worked out. And with her coming from America, I'm sure there was more than just a little bit. But I didn't think it was a racial issue. I just think that, okay, they invited her in. They were saying they welcomed her to the family. They seemed like they were getting along. I'm like, cool. So the funeral was interesting. The wedding was interesting. I loved the Lean On Me song. That was different. The guy who played the cello, that was beautiful. The pastor was a little like, okay, I would have picked a better pastor, but that's who they chose. Okay. And I was happy for them. And then after they went on their honeymoon tour, that's when all these other stories started coming out. And I'm like, what is going on? I was really happy for Harry. I was happy for Meghan. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. It's gonna probably be a very pretty baby because she's pretty. He's got that red hair. But all these stories started coming out, and then when she got pregnant was the thing. And then, oh my God, the holding the belly. Everybody holds their belly. I've been pregnant 3 times, and I know a lot of people who've been pregnant. I've never seen anybody holding their belly like that. I'm like, well, maybe she's holding her belly because she's like, this is my prize. This is my, I got that baby in me that's going to be part of the British royal family. I'm proud of it, whatever. And that's when I started reading on her. And I did the video and I uploaded it on one of my other channels that I don't use anymore. And let me show you the cards I got. So I had to go back and pull them because I remember distinctly those cards that kind of surprised me. So they were these cards here. And this is how they came out. Okay, let me show you. It was first the Empress. Okay. And then I had the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Cups, sorry. Yep. And then I had the Wheel of Fortune, and it was reversed. So with Meghan, in the first card, the Empress. See, Meghan, and I was very surprised about this card. Meghan was sitting back and looking at what she had obtained. Like this calf. Yeah, like a sign of wealth. So she was looking back at what she had obtained, but she's looking back, but her body's turned forward. So she wasn't going to be happy with where she was because, yeah, she gets bored. This is what I've obtained, but I want more. But she's happy to look at what she's got. She's got it. She's attained it. She's put it to the side. Now I'm ready to go for the next thing. And that's what I said in this card. The second card was the Queen of Cups. I said, oh my God, it looks like Meghan. I said, you're sitting in this cup. I said, in this chair, and she's set and she's assured. I said, but the Queen of Cups is a nurturing person. So, or she's the Queen of Love. So either Harry really loves her and she really loves Harry, or she's a very mothering type to Harry. Right? That's what I said about her. And then the last card was the Wheel of Fortune, and it was reversed. And that really shocked me. I'm like, okay. We have a person that's an Empress who doesn't look like she's happy. She's settled and content with what she has. She could be a mothering, nurturing type. And that might be but why would the Wheel of Fortune turn, right? And so I said, I got to pull another card. So let me see the personality of Harry and Meghan. And what I went to was my Symbolon cards. And this is what came out. This card is called the Defiance. So it's card 13. And I'm going to read it to you. Let me get the glasses on. Number 13 says, when the small child feels unjustly, badly, or even angrily treated, it can immediately change its behavior into defiant child mode. It is then no longer defiant, it becomes defiance personified. For this condition that you find yourself in, that is working within you, there is no cure. You can't help yourself. This card says it is okay to be defiant. The more you accept that, the sooner the small child inside of you can stop it. Okay? That was the card. So I read this card back then as, oh my God, because we had this card here in the change in the Wheel of Fortune. I'm like, oh, Meghan's going to overmother Harry, and Harry's going to get upset, can't take it, and run away. That was my reading of this card. So from the get-go, I thought, this is not going to work. He needs a mother. She's too mothering, too needy, and he's going to run away from her because she's just too much. Now that I know that she was really that defiant, I had no idea she was this defiant. So the card comes out, defiance. And who's running away? Harry's leading the pack. Her and Harry running away from the British royal family. These are the cards 5 months ago. 5 months ago, when I first started reading for them, came out. So I think it was in July. No, actually, this has been a year. I did this a year ago. I did this back in November. Because remember, she got married in May of 2018. So by November, I started reading for them. Exactly. I started reading for them around November. So it's been a little bit over a year. For a year ago, this is what I was reading. I had to go back because I remember it's the same year she got married that I pulled these cards. So just to say that, this tells me from way back when and to everything I've read to this day about her, it's not about race. It's about defiance. So when I tell people that Meghan is a hustler, she is she could be considered a gold digger or social climber, and she is manipulative. I don't have a problem with a person who has a hustle. The girl has hustle. I appreciate that hustle. I just think she hustled the wrong family. She told them that she was going to come into the family and she's going to be able to perform the duties that they gave her. She told Harry in that engagement interview that, hey, he said, I told her it's going to be hard. Are you ready for this? And she said yes. And she said yes, she could handle it. Now, understand that when you get into these relationships with this type of family, that you have no idea what it's going to be like. You kind of have an idea. You hope it's not as bad as you think, and you hope the love will carry you through, right? And you have a great personality, and everything's going to be great. But I think she kind of knew, and I also think she had an out. She knew that if it didn't work, she didn't care about them. If it doesn't work, then I'm leaving. I mean, she leaves everything else. She's been divorced before. She doesn't talk to her own family. So it's like, I can talk. What they're going to do, make me stay? So I really believe that she always felt she had an out. Like, if it doesn't work out, I'm leaving. But when she got in, from day one, she started selling her title and her status. The Meghans Mirror, everybody's talking about. I mean, look, the people say, well, you're just listening to the media, what they're telling you. If the media shows me that today she's out on an event and she has on a brown dress with a red tie around it with black boots on it, and then on the same day, they show me, at the end of the day, that they already have that outfit on Meghans Mirror, the same exact outfit for sale. I'm sorry, that's proof. And it didn't happen one time. It happened multiple times. So, yes, she was already merching herself back then. And then just the constant stories about her family and just not talking to her father. That was a big deal right there. I'm like, if you ain't talking to your father, I mean, you can be mad at your father. He had a heart attack. You're still not going to talk to him. Then your husband's never met him. In all this time, he's not met you. Her father-in-law, his father-in-law. That's a problem because Harry can go anywhere he wants to go. He can go to Africa. He can go to Australia. He can go wherever he wants, but he can't go to America or meet his father, stepfather, or Mexico, wherever he's staying, to go meet his father-in-law. That's a problem. And all this time. So my impression of this whole situation is that Meghan had an opportunity. She was welcomed into that family. The British community, country welcomed her into their homes, into their lives. I'm not saying everybody liked her. I'm not saying everybody thought it was good to mix races. I'm not sure. I'm sure there were people who were jealous of her. I'm sure there was media stories that said negative things about her. And I also saw there was articles where they compared her to Kate. But Jesus, they compared Diana to Fergie. They compared Kate to Diana. They compared that. That's what they do. The British tabloids are there to make money, so they want drama. But I never saw an article about anything that I saw. Now, I don't read all the British news. I'm not saying I do, but I did follow. When I started reading for them, I started following them a little bit closer, and I never saw anything where it was out and out racism. I know a lot of us Black people, American and British, were like happy that she was a biracial person married into the family. Like that. I mean, it was like when Barack, not so much when Barack became president of America, it just was more of, we're moving in this direction, we're more accepted and we can do anything. We always knew we could do anything, but now the doors are really opening for everybody. The walls are coming down, the curtains are coming down, and we can be inclusive as well. So we were very happy about that. But now that they're having problems, a lot of Black people just spouting off as racism. They didn't like her anyway because she was Black. The British royal family is racist. I don't know if they're racist or not. What I saw was they welcomed her into the family. They paid for the wedding. They paid for the honeymoon. They paid for her clothing. They paid for a whole lot of things for her. For goodness sake, Prince Charles walked her down the aisle. If he was racist, you think he really would have done that? No. It's Megan's behavior. She broke protocol. She did not listen. The stories behind the scenes of the multiple assistants they fired or left, the multiple nannies that left, the story about Archie, all the hiding every single thing, and still merching stuff, doing stuff behind the Queen's back, setting up the Sussex Royal Foundation for profit, leaving the foundation with with William and Kate, making up stories about why they had to leave the other home they were living in Kensington Palace, to go live somewhere else, and the Queen had to give him Frogmore. I mean, there's stories that's coming out where Meghan has they've shown where Meghan has, where her friends have leaked a lot of things. One of the things I heard was that before Meghan got into the royal family, the stories weren't coming out as much. It was a more tight-lipped. You didn't hear a lot of stuff. As soon as she got into the royal family, all kinds of stuff started to leak. So it's a lot of things. I do believe Harry wanted to leave all along. I think he was never comfortable being the second. I think he wanted to have his own life, make his own way in life, but he felt stuck. He had a wife to come in and showed him a way that he could make money. And he could do it his own. And she propped him up. She became his mother. She gave him the love that he was looking for. He felt accepted by her. People say she's a narcissist. You have to really read up what a narcissist says. They come in and love bomb you. They tell you whatever you want to know. They find your weakness, where you feel vulnerable, where other people can't see. They find you and your shadow self and the things that you either tell people but nobody really take you serious for. That's the issue, or they from talking to you, they just figure out what your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities are. They play upon it and they make you feel like you're accepted. And they tell you everything you want to hear. You're the greatest, you're the best, you're the tallest, I love you, I can't believe I can't live without you, we are going to be a great team together. Every little thing that you feel like you're weak in, they find that little thing and they attach to you. And you feel like this person knows you better than anybody. I've been loved. So I know what it feels and look like. And then you just get addicted to that person because it's like he's got a love addiction. He's missing his mother. She's found this key to his soul and she's got a lock on it. And anybody watching these people for the past year, if you really watched them, even if you just watched them once a week, you would see what we all see. This is not racism. This is a very manipulative person. Look, in Hollywood, this is okay. This is what they do. They play these games. They are very aggressive. They're very manipulative. They hustle. They are climbing up the ladder. They do whatever they have to do it. Okay, they don't have any, you know, they don't really care. They're not attached to these other people that is using them to climb. But when you get into a family like this, a beloved family, a family that's been around for thousands of years, at least hundreds of years, we all understand, have a lot of traditions and rules and protocols and who are going to protect themselves to the end. And you come in and you try to change it with your behavior, you're going to get kicked out. And I'm sure they first worked with her. I am so sure they tried to. I think the Queen gave her old personal assistant, her former personal assistant, you know, Jonathan Gate, to go and help her. Okay, maybe she doesn't know the rules, and maybe we can help culture her to understand what she's supposed to do. You all heard the stories. They did this. She still didn't change. Meghan is for Meghan, and Prince Harry's P-whooped. Is all to it. And I think that the British people did a great job. I think that they welcomed this woman into their lives and wanted Harry to be very happy, and it could have been a great relationship. And I think she has a lot of great talents that would have made a great Duchess for the British people. I really think she and Harry was a force in that family. I think it would have been wonderful if they stayed together and she played the game. And sometimes playing a game is, you know what, you get your feet in the door, you really make a good impression, you forge really good relationships with the family, and then you start making suggestions about what you want to change. And she didn't do that. She just rammed right in there and just started changing things and not listening to anybody, and this is where we are. So I'm going to do a quick reading today. I just dealt with my rant for today. I'm just tired of people saying, well, should she even marry them because she should have known how they was. She should have married them because she knew they were racist. I'm like, y'all need to stop. Even black people saying the same thing. It's like, come on. Everything is not racist. Sometimes we act bad. We do things and we break rules and we have to be held accountable for it. And she's being held accountable. So, as is Harry. Harry's going to have to live with his decisions. Y'all saying, people are saying, oh, the Queen has decided she's approving of Harry's decision to leave the royal family. She approves of it. And I'm like, she does not approve of it. She just told him, I'll back you, I'll support you. You just going to live with the consequences. I was all to it. So anyway, I'm going to do a quick reading and then I'll let you all know what's going on. I'm going to do the Lenormand. I am actually going to use the Enchanted and Norman Oracle today. And the question is, who is the cause of this breakup in the royal family? Is it Harry? Is it Meghan? Is it Meghan and Harry? Or is it the British royal family? So I'm going to start out with who? What was the true cause of this fraction within the royal family, the British royal family, as it relates to Harry, Meghan, the Queen, Kate, and William? Okay, I know that's a very broad question, but overall it knows that I just want to know what is the overall reason why they have this issue, what causes fraction in the family. And with these cards, you're going to throw out 5. So hold on one second. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see it. So we're going to do this quick. Here's the cards. I'm going to pull out 5 Lenormand cards. One. Two, 3. And 5. Cards turn over. These are small cards. This one, this one, this one, this one. So, don't read them upside down. right side up. First one is well, this card looks like a road, a rough road, long road. Then we have the fox. We have the key. We have the fortune teller. And we have the house. So, this is an older deck. Let me see what the 36, the road is. It looks like a mountain, but I want to make sure I got the right card. Damn it. Let me make sure I got the right meaning. Oh, it's a crossing. Because all the Norman decks look different. This is a crossing. So let's look at people. Devout person, dedicated, initiate, rescue worker, international aid worker. Okay, let's start with international aid worker. Scapegoat, outcast, taskmaster, professional, hard lucker. Okay. The crossing heralds inevitable trials that must be undergone. You call on the help of a higher power when things are beyond your own devices. So it's like the cross, a burden. This card offers a bridge by which to pass over into another state or terrain. So moving away. And then we have the fox. The fox is sly. The fox is smart. So someone was manipulating this. So usually you'll say, what is the key to all this going on? The answer to all this going on. First we have the burdens of the fox, the manipulative fox. And this also means traveling to other lands, right? So someone's manipulated to travel to other lands. Now, the key is someone's been manipulated to travel overseas. And it's been predicted that this was going to happen to this house. This was going to predict what was going to happen to this family. Let's see what else we can read in here. So, oh damn. We just do this. Their house is going to travel overseas. And it's going to be a huge burden for the family. But the cornerstone here is, why is it happening? It's because they've been tricked or manipulated. But someone knew in advance that this was going to happen in the home. Okay? Someone already knew this was going to happen. They predicted that it was going to happen. Who is the fox? So we want to know who the person is. So what we're going to do, we're going to find the person. We're going to say this is Meghan. And this is Kate. Well, let's say this is the rule, the British public. Now I have to say because it's black and white, that's just two female cards I have in there, okay? So, the one that comes out first is the one that's manipulated this situation, or caused the situation. So I'm going to go off the top. Who is to blame for this manipulation, the breaking of this family? So I'm going to just pull the cards off the top, and we get to the first person. That's who it's going to say. Was it the British or the British community, the country that was racist against, or the people who were racist against Meghan, or was it Meghan and her ways? So you just pull the cards off the top. Meghan came up first. This means that Meghan is the one that's manipulating the situation. It's not the British public. They're not racist against her. I'm not saying that there's not racist people. There's people who don't like her. There's people who are not jealous of her and who want to see her and Harry fail. I'm just saying the reason for the fraction of this family is because of Meghan. So that answers that question right there. I love Lenormand. They are so quick. Okay. So that is my reading for tonight and my rant. Thank you for listening. If you want a reading with me, please get in touch with me at Ascension Soul Coaching at gmail.com. And one thing we know is that the cards never lie. And tomorrow there'll be something else to talk about.